Alright, what's going on, everybody? My name is Monster. I'm the coach of the Atlanta Star Raptors, and welcome to my channel. First and foremost, I'd like to formally apologize for my terrible microphone quality. I do have a better microphone, however, it is not currently set up, and it's going to take me a few weeks to do that because it required a lot more things than I initially thought it would. So, yeah, this channel is mostly going to be for Draft League content. Mostly on Pokemon Showdown because my computer sucks and probably wouldn't be able to handle 3DS battles. And yeah, so the draft for the NCL recently completed. The league was made by my good friend Ian, who has introduced me to multiple leagues now. He created this league by himself and did all the tiering and stuff by himself, so it's really cool for him that he gets to run his own league and stuff. So yeah, we're just gonna break down my draft real quick, and that's about it. So I actually wanted to take a Fairy Dragon Seal Core from one of A Drive's members in the WBL, which that Fairy Dragon Seal Core was Celesteela, Kieran Black, and Mega Gardevoir. However, I wanted to tweak it a little bit. I think you could probably get a better Mega or a better Fairy than Mega Gardevoir. So I was going to change that up. And I told Ian this, and he said that it would be a really good core. And then he immediately takes Celesteela before I could draft Celesteela. I'm not too mad about it, to be honest. It's a really good pick, and I don't really blame him for not passing it up. However, I do manage to get Kieran Black. Kieran Black is a really good mon. It's also really, really versatile. It can run a variety of sets. It can run bulky sets, physically offensive sets, specially offensive sets. It's really a huge threat. It can run all kinds of different items like Z-Move, Scarf, Band, Life Orb, Specs. I mean, all kinds of stuff, really. Its dual stab is really, really good. It's very good for. It's a very good offensive typing. You get stuff like Outrage, Dragon Claw, Earth Power, Ice Beam, stuff like that. Really good coverage moves. And yeah, just a really solid pick. It's probably one of the best mons for Draft League. That's in the format. So yeah, very solid Dragon type. So with my next pick, I needed a really good Steel type. And this pick is actually a bit of redemption from another league that I'm in with Ian because I really, really wanted this pick in the other league, but I was not able to get it. It was sniped from me, so I managed to pick up Mega Aggron. Mega Aggron is a super big threat. If you do not prep for this thing, it will completely run you over. Its ability is fantastic, cutting down the damage from super effective moves. It's a really good defensive wall. It's a really good wall in general. It also has a really high attack stat in 140. You can't sleep on it. So yeah, it has pretty good coverage moves. It has stuff like Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, and obviously normal style like Heavy Slam. It also gets stuff like Earthquake and stuff. It's a really, really good mon. Very good wall. And yeah. So my next pick, I'm really close to the wheel in this draft. I think I was like 9th pick overall. And a bulky water is like quintessential to really just protect Mega Aggron so that the bulky water can soak up hits from like ground types and fire types and stuff like that. So I really wanted to make sure I grabbed a bulky water, and I grabbed Alomomola. Alomomola is really hard to deal with if you don't specifically bring things to deal with it. It has an incredibly high base HP stat at 165, and its ability Regenerator gives it very reliable recovery. And it also has the ability to Wish Pass, which is just another form of recovery. So Another really, really good wall. I've drafted a lot of bulk so far. Need to make sure I draft some offense. Also, if you've noticed, my team is also really slow at this point. It's going to get a bit slower, but I'm going to try and patch it up later in the draft. That's pretty much it about Alomomola. That's really all it's done. Really all it's good for is wish passing and just being a really big wall. It's hard to break through. With my next pick, I wanted to make sure that I got my fairy type as soon as possible so that I could complete my fairy dragon steel core. This pick actually ended up biting me in the butt a little bit, which I'll explain later. So my next pick was Sylveon. Sylveon can also run a variety of sets. It can run very offensive with Choice Specs, Pixelate, Hyper Voice, and hit like an absolute truck. And it can run specially defensive sets because its base special defense is 130, which is really, really high. It also has a decent HP stat. Just a really good fairy all around, to be honest. It's also a wish passer, so I have 2 wish passers now. And sorry. Yeah, it's really good, to be honest. That's really all you can really say about Sylveon. It's just Choice Specs, Pixelate, and especially defensive sets are really good. It's also very slow at base 60, so my team is still quite slow. And I started to realize this, and I really needed to try and patch that up at some point. My next pick, which I don't actually remember, was Arcanine. This was the round, I think this is round 5. In round 5, I think something like 6 fire types went or something, so I had to make sure that I got my fire, or a good fire type, just to make sure that I actually got one, because so many were going all at one time. You just kind of had to snatch yours up really quick. So I grabbed Arcanine. This wasn't actually my first choice. I really wanted something like Infernape. That would have been really good for my speed tiers. And then Infernape got sniped like round 3, I think. And then I was going to go pick up Entei. And then Entei was picked the round before this. So I managed to get Arcanine. Arcanine's not a bad bomb by any means. All of its base stats are fairly decent, to be honest. It can be pretty bulky, and it can be really offensive. It can be physically offensive, specially offensive. It's a very versatile mon. It's also an Intimidate support user, which lowers your opposing Pokemon's attack stat by 1. And yeah, it gets stuff like Flare Blitz, Wild Charge, Flamethrower, stuff like that. So yeah, and then my next pick, I already have my Fire Water out of my Fire Water Grass core, so I wanted to make absolutely sure that I rounded out that core. Also, because Alomomola has Regenerator, I thought it would be cool to get a Regenerator core, and I really wanted Tangrowth, right? So this is where that Sylveon pick bit me in the butt a bit, because Sylveon, in that round, when I picked it, 2 picks later, Tangrowth was picked. And I really wanted Tangrowth. Tangrowth would have made my Fire Water Grass core look really, really good, because Alomomola and Tangrowth with your Regenerator, it would have been very, very good. But I don't think I got a bad mon by any means. I managed to get a Mungus. It's also pretty bulky. I've drafted quite a bit of bulk at this point. Also to note, Arcanine speed has base 95, just like Kyurem. So I'm still a bit slow. I need to make sure I patch that up. But a Mungus is pretty bulky. Base HP is 114 with a Regenerator. It's a grass poison type. That's really all there is. It can spore things, put things to sleep, stuff like that. And yeah, just another wall to help out my offensive mons that I'm going to draft at some point. And then my next pick, I pick up Raikou. This pick was really hard for me to make because it was a tier 1 pick, and I had to use 3 points to get it. And I didn't really know if I really wanted it, but when I remember that Mega Aggron gave me 40 points back, or 40 extra points, I should say, because Mega Aggron is a tier 2 Mega, not a tier 1. I was okay with taking Raikou. I really needed an electric type. I needed to make sure that I got a really good electric type. And I managed to pick up Raikou. It's a pretty late Raikou, to be honest. Sometimes it'll go earlier. Base 115 speed is very, very much needed on my team. I needed some type of speed to help out my Solomons. Raikou gets access to things like Calm Mind, so it can really set up on you and run you over. It's also a really good Z user because it gets stuff like Hyper Beam. If you don't have anything to resist a Breakneck Blitz Hyper Beam, then it can really nuke them on really hard. Yeah, Raikou, it can also be pretty bulky too. I've seen some assault vest sets. It can be a really, really big threat if you don't prep for it. So with my next pick, I managed to pick up Swellow. I picked this up because, again, I needed the speed tier. Speed 125 is the fastest thing on my team at this point. And it also can hit really hard. It's like one of those like hidden power mons. If you don't bring something to wall it, then it can really put in some work against you. Choice Specs Boom Burst does a lot of damage, and it has the ability Scrappy, which can hit ghost types, or allows it to hit ghost types with normal type moves, and it's really good. It gets Heat Wave, stuff like that. It's basically Mega Pidgeot, but worse, if that makes any sense, because its special attack stat isn't as high as Mega Pidgeot's. Yeah, that's about it. It also gets access to Defog. It's the only hazard removal I have on my entire team. To be honest, I'll probably never bring Defog on Swellow unless I absolutely need to. Like if I'm going against something like Sticky Webs, but my team is so slow that I probably won't need Sticky Webs. Or I probably won't need Defog, rather, because my team is already super slow. So, yeah. My next pick, I realize that hazards are pretty good against my team. So, I wanted to draft at least one mon that could kind of deal with that, and I managed to pick up Espeon. Espeon's ability Magic Bounce allows it to bounce back any hazards that anybody tries to set up on me, so it can keep them off of my field and put them back on theirs. This mon is also a bit of a glass cannon, to be honest, which basically means it's really, really frail, but hits really hard. Also, base 110 speed really helps out my speed tiers. It's another mon whose base speed is above 100, which I really need. So it can hit really hard with Choice Spec Psychic or something like that. It's also a really good Choice Scarf user because its special attack stat is already so high. It gets stuff like Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, really good coverage moves all around, Shadow Ball, stuff like that. But the only downside is that it's really, really frail. So it can't really take a hit from anything. Its special defense stat is okay, but it's not amazing. So with my next pick, I pick up my fighting type in Primate. Don't sleep on Primate, man. Primate can really run over a team. It has the ability Defiant, so it gets an attack boost whenever it's hit by a dark type move. And Choice Scarf Primate can really put in some work if you're not ready for it. It's kind of like Swellow, where if you don't prep for it, it can really run you over. Base 95 speed, again, just like Karen Black and Arcanine, it's my third base 95. But I think I've drafted enough high speed mons that it makes it kind of okay. And yeah, I'm sure it gets stuff like Thunder Punch and Ice Punch and stuff. I don't actually know. I've never used it before. Fun fact, I've never used any of the mons on my team in draft format before, so this is totally new for me. And yeah, moving right along, we're going to go to our last pick in Zangoose. Now, I didn't actually know how good Zangoose was. I just knew when I was looking at the tiers that Zangoose got Belly Drum, and which made it a lot better in Gen 7. So I went ahead and picked it up. Its ability is Toxic Boost, which could be good. I'm not sure. I don't really know how good that could be. It's basically Guts, but specifically for poison. And yeah, I actually didn't know Zangoose's base speed was 90. It's actually not bad. I thought it was a bit slower than that, and its base attack stat is a lot higher than I thought it was too. So I actually got a pretty good pick here in Tier 5. I didn't really expect Zangoose to be as good as it is. But yeah, that's all the mons that I drafted in Ian's league called the Nimbasa Sea League, or NCL for short. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. You can subscribe for more content if you would like to see more videos like this. And yeah, have a good day, guys. Thanks for watching.